Hi there, Stephanie again with the Learning Bar, here to read another fun book with you today. This book is called Anisha's Dance, and it's a wonderful book. I've already read it. And it is written by Robert Cutting, and art is by John Mantha. Now, as I read this book, I'm going to bring your attention to different punctuation used in this book. Punctuation is how we end sentences. For example, if we're making a statement like, today is Friday, we would end that sentence with a period. If I called up my cousin and I asked what she was doing later tonight, that would be a question. For example, if I said, Joanne, are you going for a walk tonight? That sentence would end with a question mark. When we're really excited about something and there's a lot of emotion in what we're saying, then we end with what is called an exclamation mark. It is a straight line with a period underneath. So I'm going to point out punctuation to you as I read this book. All right, let's get started. Anisha's Dance. Anisha had a secret. She thought there was something wrong with her feet. They were good for walking. They were great for running. They were fantastic for climbing. But for dancing, they were not good. When Anisha tried to dance, her feet went this way and that way and every way. This made her afraid to dance in front of anyone. Now on that page, there are several exclamation marks and periods for the sentences ending, and I'll show you some right now. Do you see that? You see the exclamation marks? And every way. They even put all of those letters into upper caps, which means capital letters. When a writer does that, they want you to say the word very strongly. That word has a lot of meaning in that sentence, and they want you to recognize that, and they want you to say it or read it in a very strong tone. Dancing was important in Anisha's family. Anisha wished she could dance like the others, if only her feet would listen. And you find another exclamation mark at the end of that sentence, right there at the bottom. The illustrations are beautiful, especially with the special clothing they use for powwows. Is the St. Denis family ready for the spring powwow? Asked Mom. Yes, said Grandma. I can't wait until Saturday. Anisha, it's powwow time, her brother Tom called to her. Oh no, Anisha thought. I can't dance. I'm too afraid. What's the matter, my girl? Asked Grandma. Aren't you excited about your first dance with us? Anisha looked at her grandma. I don't want to be in the dance, Grandma. I'm afraid. And there's everything on those 2 pages. You can see some question marks, you can see some exclamation marks, and you can see some periods. And again, the author decided to make those letters, that word, in very bold print so that you would pay attention to it while you're reading. Grandma sat down beside Anisha. You are wondering why your feet won't dance, aren't you? Said Grandma. Anisha was shocked. How did you know my secret? I've seen you looking at your feet many times, said Grandma. I can't dance, Grandma, said Anisha. I try, but my feet go all over. Grandma got up. Come with me, my girl. They went to Grandma's room. Inside, Grandma took a feather off the shelf. This is a raven's feather, said Grandma. My mother gave it to me when I was afraid. Why were you afraid? Asked Anisha. When I was young, we moved off the reserve. I was afraid of meeting people in the new town. This feather gave me courage, said Grandma. Grandma held out the feather. Here, it will help you be brave in the dance, she said. Anisha took the raven feather. Nia wen, Grandma. Thank you. And that's a beautiful, beautiful illustration of the grandma giving Anisha a raven feather. And again, there's questions with question marks. There are periods showing a statement, a sentence statement, and there's also an exclamation mark. And you can hear that in the voice of the reader too. And when you're reading with your friends, or if you're reading silently, I want you to try to think about how that sentence sounds depending on the punctuation at the end of the sentence. Again, if it's a period, it's just a statement. If it's a question mark, your voice should go up just a little bit at the end of the sentence. And if there's an exclamation mark, that straight line with the dot underneath, then you need to say it with passion, or you need to say it very strongly, because there's a lot of emotion in that sentence. It was Saturday, powwow day. Anisha's father and uncles carried the drums from the van. Anisha and her family prepared for the dance. Anisha wore the raven feather in her hair. I love the clothing that is used for special ceremonies like powwows. It's beautiful. You can see all the cones sewn onto the grandmother, mother, and Anisha's dress. And there's a drum for the powwow. Isn't that great? It's such a large drum. Anisha and her family joined the dance. Anisha's brother swooped down and jumped around. He danced like a soaring bird. Anisha danced with her mother and grandma. Their bells jingled as they danced. The drummers kept drumming and the dancers danced. Anisha swayed this way and that. Her feet moved in time to the drums. I hope we're allowed to have some powwows this summer. And see that? Isn't that wonderful? I love what Anisha's brother's wearing as well. That would have very special meaning. The drumming got quieter. The dance was ending. Anisha was so excited. She jumped up and down. I did it! I danced, she shouted. Anisha reached into her hair. The raven feather gave me... Oh no! Are you looking for this? Asked Grandma. She held out the raven feather. I caught it when it fell out of your hair during the dance. You danced all by yourself. The feather made me brave, said Anisha. That was the gift of the feather. I made you believe in yourself, Grandma replied. From that day on, Anisha danced bravely with her family, in front of everyone. So there you can see, on this page, you can see how Grandma has the raven feather behind her back. Anisha's so excited. And then she gave it back to Anisha. And there again, exclamation marks on this page where Anisha said, I did it. I danced. And again, you see that the letters are in very bold print. Teachings from Turtle Island. This is from a series of books published in Canada, Turtle Island Voices. They're beautiful books. And the teachings are on the back 2 pages, or the last 2 pages. And it's telling us what bravery means. Bravery. Bravery means doing what is right, even if we feel afraid. Bravery means having the courage to face our fears with honor. Bravery means that every struggle, whether we win or lose, makes us stronger. In this story, Anisha showed that she was brave. She was afraid that her feet would not dance. With the help of the raven feather, she danced with her family in the powwow. This modern story takes place in the eastern woodlands. Anisha and her family are Ganayangahaga. I think I said that correctly. Excuse me if I didn't. But the Ganayangahaga are a First Nation. Some people know them as Mohawk. Many Mohawk peoples live in parts of Ontario, Quebec, and New York State. Anisha is dancing the jingle dress dance. The jingle dress is made from cloth and has many metal cones sewn on it. These make the jingling sound when the dancer dances. And I've seen these before, and they're absolutely beautiful. And the sound is almost magical. I love them. They're so beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this book. Something you can do to practice with your friends or your family at home is to take turns saying different types of sentences. For example, you can say one sentence as a statement like, today is Friday. That's a statement. That would end with a period, just a single dot at the end of the sentence. You can ask your friends or someone in your family a question. What is your favorite color? See how my voice went up a bit? I'm asking a question, and that finishes with a question mark, which looks like a hook, again with a dot underneath it. Or you could say something really strongly like, I love blueberries. I said that with a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling. That would end with an exclamation mark. Or if you yell boo at someone, if you're trying to scare someone, right? That would end with an exclamation mark. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I enjoyed reading it with you. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now.